First rank group was First National Bank. Its profits jumped by 16% and FNB increased its customer numbers by 4% to 8.2 million people. To discuss, we're joined by the CEO of FNB, Jacques Celliers. Thank you for being with us, Jacques. Are you very pleased?
Yeah, so I guess we're humbled that at least in a market like this we could, our strategies can be tested. Yeah, we always say in easy times it's easy to make money, and it's only when you go through these cycles of really being tested in the bottom, and then you really, see whether the strategies work. And at the moment, it would appear that our strategic agenda around this, customer centricity and this primary bank relationship strategy is certainly playing out across all of our segments. So we're delighted.
So you're increasing market share. That basically means you're stealing customers away from other banks. What are you doing right that you think they're not?
Yes, I guess the value creation theme for us are around three elements. The first is that clearly into our existing base we can do so much more, and then if our value propositions work well for our existing customers, certainly it does have a network effect into appealing to those out there who's thinking about moving from one of our competitors. So that origination both into an existing client base and into a competitor's base is very exciting. So
you offer your clients different things. The virtual mobile system, that seems to have been very successful. People are talking about the flexibility you have to kind of tailor your sales services.
Yeah. I mean, what's nice about the way that we've differentiated over the years, for a decade or two now, as you know, we've been digitizing and building innovation themes around data and technology. What's happened is we've actually reached like a tipping point where you could think of us like a platform-based business at the moment. It's a little bit like Amazon would be. What's great is that once your clients engage with your platform, you have firstly much more interactions. Secondly, much richer data sets around and our ability to do contextual value proposition. And the third element is then a much more efficient way of delivering those. So you would see in our results just how successful we have been at originating at much better rates.
So what's the next thing for a bank to do that's got nothing to do with traditional banking services?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's the challenge, is not to always think about something news and something other stuff, but to just be focused on this, a strategy around this primary bank relationship, and to build out and to package people's needs, right? I mean, it's across all the segments.
Is that what you mean? Because everyone uses the term customer-centric. Yeah. What does it actually mean? Yeah. And why do you say that is working?
Yeah. So in our strategy, which I think Alan would have also referred to in his interview, was just this ability to look at a client holistically across all the segment and sub-segment basis. So in the personal life, it's from the most entry-level customer at the bottom of the pyramids, who we service through e-wallets and get them going, and to try and get some data on them to be able to up them into what we refer to as the banking value proposition. We've got about 1 million customers in that space that actually use our facilities without actually having a traditional banking relationship. And right up into the top end of a private banking space where you can sell much more to clients because of the financial reality. And that's the same in business segment, from startup business right up into the top end businesses. Once you have the customer holistically, from time to time you sell them credit or investments or insurances, and if your platforms are efficient, you can deliver those to a fraction of the cost of what a traditional competitor had to compete with at a monoline activity. So that's where we see a lot of value extraction.
Well, if all the focus is on the systems, the app, does that mean you're going to shrink your what's it called, banking outlets, your branches?
No, not at all. I think we live in a world where clearly we can do with less square meterage, but I think our points of presence is something that we love. And in fact, if you look at our sales activities, customer behavior is at 80% or so of activity at a selling where people need a bit of help and advice on how to do things, happens in a physical and a human supported activity environment. But then clearly the service elements thereafter one can then fulfill in a digital mechanism. But what is very important is that even in those physical environments, people use the new platforms. So it's not like physical against digital. It is actually digital inside
and it's
physical.
An opportunity to teach them how to use those platforms. So if we look at your results sort of as a little window onto what's happening in the South African economy, what really interests me was, people are complaining about Ramaphoria and that maybe being overblown, but you are saying there was a difference in the 6 months ending in December, and then the first 6 months of this year was much more positive. Just give us more details.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we all know that our world is built on sentiment, and people feel better. They go out and buy stuff. They go out and trade. They go start businesses. That is why we are all asking for, and we have been asking for some time, for the government to make sure that they focus a lot on the certainty we need in some of the policies out there. And what we're excited about is to see so much more policy certainty coming. The energy one was more recently, and the fact that Cyril is owning this land thing himself. He understands the urgency, and he understands how important that is for all of us. We think that the experience of the last few months, that clearly is people are questioning a bit about sustainability of the opportunity, but coming off such a low base with a little bit of certainty on some of these driving elements in our economy, whether it be agriculture or mining or tourism or whatever, we think it could be such nice catalyst for the market. So that's what we're after.
How exposed are you to commercial farmers? Are you still lending commercial farmers money?
Absolutely. For us, it's business as usual. At the moment, we think that we are a big player. We got close to 40 billion rand business, a book in agricultural spaces. We're supporting our farmers, and it's 180 years since we've been going. It's ups and downs, it's cycles, it's droughts. Every industry goes through its challenges, and we'll get through this one too.
So I ask you because the Banking Association was saying that lending actually increased, I think, between December and April. But if we don't start giving certainty on which farms will be expropriated, who will be affected, maybe that lending will dry up. What does this debate mean? I mean, are you sitting in strategy sessions thinking, what are we going to do, and could you cut lending?
Yeah. So we're not in the movie of trying to cut any industry actually that we're operating in. So that's
you're hoping for the best.
No, we're not hoping for the best. We're actually going through this in a very mature manner. I think we've got a client base that's got a lot of stability in their balance sheets. We're privileged to have over the years built up a good quality client base. Our businesses are all well positioned to. I mean, they've just been through like a drought period, and we've helped them through that. We're going to help them through the uncertainty in this phase of tenure. That is the instrument that our society is built on, and if I listen to Cyril, he is going to help us to get through this in an organised manner, and we're quite excited to hear the left views and the right views, and somewhere in between is going to be the right answer. We've accommodated regulatory changes a number of times through the years. You think the recent National Credit Act was one of those where clearly with lots of views about it, in the end, once there's certainty, we implement it. It takes a bit of time. It's important just to give it its space it needs to really reflect on it. Otherwise, what you do is you change something, and then they want to change it again, and they want to say, so let's do a proper job, change what needs to be changed, and let's implement properly.
Very quickly, what does recession mean for FNB?
And we try and I guess survive and deliver value despite the environment in which we operate. That's what we configured for. It would be nice if the recession can add a bit of value and could not have such a big impact on us. But for us, dealing with whether it's this side or that side of 0 or 1, I mean, we should be getting to the 3s and 4s and 5s to get our country out of the challenge. And we obviously a big partner for society, and we'll play our part to help.
Well, the fact is that your main market, South Africa, people are getting poorer and poorer over time. What does that mean? Do you start looking at the rest of Africa? Do you still bank on the future of this country?
Yeah. Our growth engine for our group is South Africa. It's South Africa based. Although we're starting up franchises to the rest of the continent, if you think of us in a few years' time, hopefully you'll see a big platform in East Africa, a big platform in West Africa. But the value creation and the opportunity in looking after our customers better, selling them more contextually relevant value propositions and servicing them better, helping them with navigate their financial consequence in their life. That's a massive thing, and I guess the other element of it is how much more efficiently we can deliver what we need to deliver through. So both revenue lines and cost lines, we've got enough plans to continue to add value.
All right, congratulations on very good results. Thank you for being with us tonight, the CEO of FNB, Jacques Celliers. All right, so let's